Blender scenes look like shit? Do you feel constantly ashamed of what you've become and wish that you could stop being a disappointment to your parents in every pathetic attempt you make at doing something with your life? Try Blender simulation. An easy way to make yourself look like you know what you're doing while still being fucking horrible at Blender. In just a few clicks, you can simulate anything from water to a pillow. No, but why would I ever want to simulate a pillow? Why wouldn't you want to simulate a fucking pillow? You're given the tools to do it. Why the fuck? It's a pillow. Look, pillows are all I can fucking think about right now. I just got done with my 5th 9 to 6 shift in a row. I'm not bothered writing any more of this script. Just make the rest up in your head. I'm so fucking over this shit. Alright, let's just get the basic shit out of the way. So the collision modifier is what you add to things when you want a physics object to interact with them. So if you're making a ramp, then you'd make the ramp a collision object by adding this modifier to it. Forces are, you know, forces. So if you wanted a wind in your scene or turbulence or just a constant fixed amount of force, then this is what you'd use to get it. The strength is obviously the strength of the force. The flow does fuck all, so don't even bother. And the noise amount is just how unstable the force is. So like my mental health.
Took a trip, we got lost in the area.
Alright, so add a plane into your scene and now right click and press subdivide a couple times. But make sure your vertices don't get too small unless you feel like turning your PC inside out. Now you're gonna head to the physics tab and press cloth, and a bunch of settings are going to come up that might cause a traumatic response. Most of them are bullshit. Your vertex mass is how heavy each individual dot on your plane is, so it's just making your shit heavier or lighter. And the air viscosity just means how thick the air in your scene is. It's just another word for air resistance, so turning it up means your cloth will fall slower. Now these two categories are pretty much like vibrance and saturation, in the way that they pretty much do the exact same shit, just ever so slightly differently. So your tension is how stretchy your material is, so turning it up obviously makes it more stretchy, and then vice versa. Compression is pretty much just another version of stiffness. Here's a side-by-side comparison of low and high compression because I don't know how to explain it. Shearing is whatever the fuck this means, and I don't think I need to explain what bending is. If you don't know what bending is, then you're too young to be watching my videos. Now this is where most of you will stop watching because it sounds too complicated. Don't you fucking dare. If you click this button, there's presets for cotton, denim, leather, rubber, and silk that will just do the work for you. You're gonna see these settings under both the stiffness and the damping categories. The difference is that if you turn up, let's say, tension in the stiffness category, then your cloth is gonna resist it. But if you turn it up in the damping category, then its amplitude is gonna decrease. It sounds confusing because it is. Stick to the presets. The internal springs are there if you want your mesh to behave like there's springs in it internally. So this is what a UV sphere without internal springs does when it hits the ground, but then you turn them on and now you have a beach ball. The pressure settings simulate air pressure inside of your mesh. You're never going to use this or probably even the internal springs unless you want to make a pillow. I'm not going to explain what the cache is. The shape settings are there if you want to have your cloth hold itself up. You're mainly going to use this if you want to make like curtains. I'm not going to teach you how to make. Turn your plane 90 degrees, go to edit mode, select some edges, make a new vertex group, and then assign them. Put your vertex group as a pin group, and now you have curtains in the 3D software. You're welcome. Honestly, don't know why anyone would ever use self collisions, but the settings are there if you want. Ignore this, and the field weights are just all the forces that affect your cloth. So if you don't want something to affect it, just turn it down. Fucking hell, that was a lot of shit.
Better off the less I know, then the more I'm in reality.
So for a fluid sim, you have 3 types of modifiers: domain, flow, and effector. For a basic fluid sim, add a cube with a fluid modifier and set it to domain, and switch the domain type to liquid. Then add a UV sphere with a fluid modifier inside the cube, but set it to flow and change the flow type to liquid. Switch to wireframe view, and now you have a basic fluid sim. There's 3 types of flow behaviors. Geometry will simulate a certain amount of liquid based on the geometry of your mesh. Inflow will infinitely simulate fluid from your mesh, so it pretty much turns it into a tap. And outflow will generate a variable area that removes fluid from the simulation. So think of it like a layer mask on Photoshop. The fluid modifier can also generate smoke and fire as well, either separately or together, but if you change the type to one of them, you'll need to change the domain type to gas. The effector is just another word for collision, so if you want your fluid to interact with the surface, then you put a fluid modifier on the mesh and then set the type to effector, and now you have a ball of water. Pretty much all the other settings are just bullshit. All you need to know is that when you bake your fluid, make sure to switch the type from replay to all. I don't know why, I just do it because it works. If you want just basic physics like just a ball rolling down a ramp, then welcome to rigid bodies. There's 2 types. Active rigid bodies are whatever meshes are going to be interacting with physics, and passive rigid bodies are just collisions. So if you wanted a ball down ramp, you'd model a ramp and make it a passive rigid body, and then add a UV sphere and make it an active rigid body, and now you have ball ramp. So rigid body constraints, okay. Look, in simple terms,
Took a trip, we got lost in the area.
Do you open up Blender and think, gosh darn it, I really wish I could simulate some jelly right now? Yeah, me neither, but that's what soft bodies are. Add a plane as a collision and add a cube and give it a soft body modifier. Uncheck goals so that it actually falls, and now you have whatever the fuck this is. Apart from that, this is honestly just one of those things you have to play around with to learn it. That's if you'll ever even use it, which is more likely a no.